Hello everyone, I am Tacit and I'm going to be going over the new Gems of War Mythic of the Ratchet Cogbolt. He is a dwarf mech that is very rarely going to get used, mostly because of Tina 9000 and Tesla existing in the same location. And not only does he not have true damage synergy with them, but he also just has like nothing going for him pretty much. He has a little bit of a boost ratio based on how many mechs are on the team. However, his main category that he's going to be used in is not necessarily Mech and Adana, but more so Dwarf, and more so with the upcoming Guild War we have very soon. If you lack literally every possible option for Dwarf Mythics, this might be the Dwarf Mythic that you end up utilizing for the Guild War that will be taking place on the 19th to the 22nd in 2 weeks from now. So yeah, if you're missing other options, this could be worthwhile to get just because it could be an option that might actually be viable for you if you're missing pretty much every viable Dwarf in the game. Luckily, if you are still missing some stuff like that, next week you'll be able to event key for everything else. So not only will you be able to event key for your 50% mana start dwarf and a few other dwarfs like that, but if you still don't have really anything from that, then you can consider throwing your Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests on that Monday to Thursday, as this mythic is available all the way until next Friday reset time. So you have all the way until today, which is at the 6th, all the way until basically the end of Thursday to go and try to get this, as well as those 4 days of overlap where you have the event key for the other thing, where you'll be able to go for your 50% mana start dwarf and any of the other dwarfs there. So this might be the mythic they end up using. It has a little bit of resummon, so as a backup plan it could be fine as a double resummon. And while you generally don't want to be using this as like a forced option, if you have a average enough team where resummon is going to be required, having both the 50% mana start dwarf, which we'll be using anyways because it's such good synergy with dwarves, that has resummon to one unit, while also having the new trip that's coming out that has double resummon, could end up being a plan to end up utilizing. So this is actually he's actually so bad that this is the first time ever that I think I've only shown 2 teams for a new mythic, just because he just does not want to fit into a third. But this is the guy. He deals a pretty modest amount of damage to whatever he targets, as well as 2 random enemies, and this is boosted by allied mechs. This boost ratio definitely feels like it's geared more towards early and mid game, as that amount of damage that he does is not even enough to kill a single unit. If all 3 hits hit one single unit later in the game, you are not even going to be able to do enough damage to get a kill with 4 mechs on your team. So yeah, that's not good. That is extremely not good. What is also not good is he has no board control whatsoever. He will auto end his turn upon casting. The only redeeming quality he has, though some other mechs can end up doing this, as well as some other dwarves, like the 50% mana start dwarf, but he does have a double summon. This is not horrifically bad, I guess. Double summoning of the mech. Obviously, what mechs you get could be really good, could be really bad. Could be as good as a Tina 9000 or Bork. Could be as bad as whatever bad mechs are. There's definitely some of them. But yeah, as far as traits, nothing redeeming here either. A little bit of score reduction, this really weird trait that they added to a bunch of mechs for reasons I cannot explain ever since they added bomb gems, and it is so bad, it just creates 3 bomb gems when it dies. A lot of mechs have this, and it basically just helps the enemy. And he also gets to give a bunch of attack and armor to all mech allies, which if this was a higher amount, it could be okay, because obviously there's quite a bit of mechs that gain quite a bit of boost ratio. Things like the bomb bot, things like Tesla, though of course Tesla's not a mech, but still ends up getting the armor boost ratio if used in Adana team. But overall, yeah, just not much to really see here from this mythic. But let's go get it. I did say this time around I wanted to end up doing it in Glory Key, so let's see if we can end up getting it here. Of course, the odds are 10 times worse, but of course you do get a lot more Glory Keys through a lot of various things. One time to actually stock up pretty nicely. Actually, I didn't bother checking this beforehand. Is it this week? Yes. Whenever they are only 30 or 300 each, you can end up stocking up on a really good ratio of gold keys, and glory keys if you ever need some in a pinch. Obviously, you could also just dump your glory into the glory keys themselves, but it's a great way to get gold in a pinch while still getting a lot of useful resources from it. And it's best to do whenever it's a 300 week, because you end up getting a better gold ratio. You do get a little bit less arcanes, but you get a lot more of the better supplies from it. But anyways, let's go keep opening. See what we end up getting here. Though, if we go too low on these and somehow don't have it, if we go to 100,000 and don't have it yet, we will 100% go down to the gem keys to try to get it. Because that is going to be a little bit ridiculous if we go through that many. And I saw some people in global chat getting it earlier, so it's definitely in there. It's in there somewheres. But of course, he is the exclusive Mythic and Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest, so if we were to get one from any of these drop tables, it would 100% be him all the way until Friday reset of next week. If we can actually get him in here. Okay, I'm so ready to just start hitting the gem keys. The nice thing about the gem keys, you do it like 5 to 20 times. It's like, oh yeah, there he is. This, you got to do it quite a bit. But the nice thing about this, aside from the Mythic being right there, is of course you do get gems and a bunch of other resources while doing it. I've been meaning to cash these in because we're getting so close to 100,000 gems. So I want to like slowly keep making the push there, since we've actually never had 100,000 gems. Even back in the day, where there were like some weeks where some of the biggest guilds were getting like 20k, 30k gems a week. We have actually never in the history of the game hit 100k gems yet, which I probably should have by now. I keep spending them for various things, but we were getting really close, so you know, whenever we have opportunities to do them, we'll probably do glory keys instead until we end up getting it. But anyways, there he is. And yeah, let's go mess with him. We have 2 teams, as I don't really felt like it was worthwhile justifying him for a 3rd. Because it just did not seem worth it. He would just be plopped onto some kind of really weird team that would pretty much never be used. I figured we'd show 2 that are going to be really relevant. One is one of the 3 teams I'll probably be showing in 2 Mondays from now for the Dwarf teams for the Guild War. We'll be showing 3 teams during the weekly Monday video. Not next week, but the following week. And this will probably be one of the teams. Him with the whole core setup here is basically the budget team that's really safe. You have resummon off of the 50% mana start Dwarf. You have double resummon off the new guy. You have a really tanky hero class, a Sentinel, getting 50% mana started, as well as having all the benefits of that. And yeah, just a really overall tanky team. It's going to poke them very slowly, but it would eventually get the win. And it's a really safe team overall. And then we have like the one instance where you might end up using it, and that is like a bomb bot team, because this thing auto dies whenever it ends up casting. So in teams like this, where your bots are basically going to self-destruct, there are a few teams that are like this, where basically they have a mechanic where they have a chance of dying or a guaranteed chance of dying, like in the case of this bomb bot. And in those instances, you can end up, of course, resummoning him. He's not necessarily the best way to do it, but it is definitely an option to end up utilizing it for. So let's go get this guy completely maxed out, and let's go show it in the 2 teams that we have available and see how he ends up doing. Alright, to the safe area. You know what? No. Let's go bring it to PvP. I'm going to do a very bad idea and bring this to PvP, because I plan to run this one for next Guild War. Maybe not this exact team. I'll probably be running a slightly different variant, but this is one of the teams I do plan to show for when we end up doing it for Guild War. So, yeah, let's go see what it could do in middle. Let's see how bad this goes. We'll take a middle team, since this is a middle rarity team. Just got to remember to put my Takshaka team back there. But one nice thing about this, speaking of Takshaka, this does have double stun on cast. So aside from being the 50% mana start that you basically have to get next week from event keys, 100% make sure to get it. It's pretty much required for next Guild War event. Maybe not required, but it's an event key. Luckily this time around, it's actually targetable, unlike last time where we had Divining Fields. The 50% mana start for Centaur was not targetable up to that event. Luckily next week you'll be able to target this. So as far as this team, we have Gimlet here. He transforms all green to brown. We'll be able to go get this for a lot of initial mana. If not, he's not actually blocking any mana since he's already empowered. So even if he doesn't have alignment, he's blocking 0 mana from you, so that's nice. We'll go for this move here just because it's a lot of cascaded value, and then we can just kind of start going for everything else from there. Hopefully get an extra turn from it. Didn't, but we have basically everything we need. So what's really nice about this is he comes with a stun. It's a double poke, a double stun. He boosts based on all the dwarves on the team, and unfortunately this thing only boosts based on mechs on the team. However, this thing still counts as a dwarf, so it's both a dwarf and a mech and an Adana. So in this case, we are still using it for its dwarf boost ratio. So even though this guy might not be getting his full dwarf boost ratio, at least we can still get it for the other one. Actually, wait, am I missing one? Oh, because I end up using Sentinel class. Wait, why did I think Sentinel was, oh, that's funny. Sentinel class is not the right class for that. Oh gosh, that's not the right one. It's Rune, whatever it's called. Rune Priest? I think it's called Rune Priest. I did the wrong hero class. I was like, wait, why is my bonus off by 1? Ah, I see the problem now. But yeah, we have double stun here, so you can get rid of some annoying things like on Divine or, what's the other one? Divine and Naga both have double or triple Takshaka. So be able to get a double stun on that greatly reduces the amount of mana accumulation they can end up doing. So that's pretty nice. We have this guy that will hopefully do something. So we get to target 1 guaranteed. The other 2 just hit randomly. I do want to double check this though. Can you condense them onto 1 unit? I believe the answer is yes, but we haven't actually checked it yet. So let me go check that. My assumption was yes, you would be able to. But yes, if I do this, will he die? Okay, he does die. Later in the game, that wouldn't be enough damage, but at this mid-range, that is enough to kill. So at least he can one-shot something. And yes, all 3 can hit the single same target. My bad. Let me go change that right now. Wait. That's wrong. Let's see. It's only on this team. The other one's using the correct hero class. But this one is supposed to be... not that one. Rune Priest, I think it's called. Oh, I spelled it incorrectly. Rune Priest. There we go. This is the right one. Still does most of the same things. Just as basic hero class. Actually, they do a lot of the same things. Has Dispel, has Immunes, has Barrier on Brown. Wow, do they both just run the same everything? They run literally the exact same trees. The only difference is the traits, where this guy gets to do a brown storm when an enemy dies, which are pretty good. Your entire team's using brown. And all dwarven allies gain a bunch of extra life and attack while gaining an extra turn, which is pretty much what the new guy's effect is as well. Unfortunately, he's only affecting mechs, and he's the only mech on the team. However, the dwarf one that we have off a hero is affecting the entire team. And of course, be able to get that brown storm, very beneficial, as everything other than the gimlet that creates brown is a brown on this team. Anyways, let's go try this one more time, but with the correct hero class. Whoops. Hey, it still worked. Okay, let's see how it does against the standard Beatrix team. This is not something you'll see in Guild War because this is a high enough variety that, well, you almost could. If this Leprechaun wasn't here, it could be a pure blue team that you could see in Guild War. So it's kind of similar to what you could see in Guild War, not quite. But it's almost like what you could see for a final battle. But let's see how it goes. Of course, Beatrix pretty nice if it can get stunned. Unfortunately, it is in the second position, which is a location that it cannot stun. So it's going to be a little bit worse for us. That and also a much worse starting board compared to the previous one. Don't really have a good move here. Skull I kind of want to ignore. Ideally, we actually just want him to go take that. Ideally, we want to be going into Wand Mana. So I'm actually going to take a blue here and hope we get green Cascaded, even though we have Brown Storm here. We did get a green Cascade. Not the one I was looking at, but we did get one. We now have a really, really good convert, so we'll go for that and probably go for a Wand of Stars. Hope it doesn't miss, and then we should be golden as long as we land that. If this Beatrix was further back, I would probably want to go for the stun. The biggest issue here is he does get the cleanse off of Beatrix, and I believe that cleanse triggers before it checks the trait, so it would still get the enchant. So with that being said, we're going to go for Wand of Stars here and try killing the Beatrix directly, as by far it's the biggest threat to what we're trying to do, that being to try to get some stun value and everything. So yeah, the other alternative actually could be to go for Mistralis, just to bring it close to the kill range. This is a purely physical team, so you know what, we'll actually go for that. And hope we get a double poke here. We did get the double poke. The only problem with that is this is not enough damage. But you know what is? No, it isn't. I was going to say we could target it again, but no, even that's not enough damage. Wow, he does so little damage. Why do you do so little? Why do you do so little? Like, we're going to cast on it twice and it's still going to live is the problem here. Like, I was considering going for the double cast, but a double cast won't even kill it. Oh no, let's give it some confidence. Will a double cast kill it? One of the two other pokes have to hit it directly. Yeah, I did. Okay, I lied. The double cast did, but only because it got hit 4 times. So now what we can go do is go stun his cleanse. Now that Beatrix is in the last 2 slots, we can go stun away its cleanse. Unfortunately, not kill. 1 HP off. If only you did a little more damage. That thing would be dead right now. Alright, and then we'll probably go for... We definitely want to kill Beatrix, obviously. So we could just target this directly and hope that a double tap hits first slot. The other option is we could just hit first slot and hope we get really lucky. You know what? I'm going for it. No, the inconsistency. I still got a hit on it. Alright, luckily, we get to see some of the resummon. So one really nice thing about this team, and the whole reason why you would run it, is as 1.5 billion backup plans. This thing has resummon whenever something dies. If both of your first 2 slots die, which we almost just did because of how far back we are, you get a double resummon off of this thing. And if somehow your entire team dies because you're doing true damage, well, you got a really tanky Barrier on Brown hero class that would have gotten a Brown Storm from one of the other kills, while still having Banish to get rid of Submerge and everything else. You still have whatever weapon you're running, likely Wand of Stars. You're still just really overall tanky. As long as you don't Essence of Evil you could probably just keep poking them over and over again. And then boom, then we have a full team. And of course, between the 2 resummons, you should pretty much always maintain a true full team unless they kill everything but your hero. In which case, hopefully you can get enough skulls to still win Guild War with your hero. And we did go over 90,000 finally. But anyways, let's go to the other team. Probably not in PvP though. I don't know, should we show it in PvP? We'll bring this one to PvP too, why not? We'll go bring both of them to PvP. So this one is a mech team centered around trying to utilize his resummon to any degree whatsoever, similar to the other team, where the other team was meant for Guild War specifically. This one is meant for, I guess, just happen to die on one of your teams. But obviously this is, the other one was a dwarf restriction. So the other one was a pure dwarf team that you could end up using for something like the next Guild War that's coming around in 2 weeks from now. However, this one is a pure 4 times Adana and 4 times Mech. So it counts for both those 2 categories, 4 times Adana, 4 times Mech. So in either of those 2 categories, you can end up utilizing this. One thing that's pretty nice about this is it does cover pretty much every color except for purple, which of course you can just set your banner to. The other thing that's pretty interesting is, of course, if this was like an Adana week or something similar, you could end up getting this weapon, and it has a really interesting perk that most weapons don't have. And it's actually pretty decent because of it. As a 20% chance to just outright kill first slot. It's a very niche ability, But basically, you want to go target anything but first slot with this, assuming first slot doesn't have immune to insta-kill, in which case kill that first. But assuming the first slot does not have immune to insta-kill mechanic, you just go and shoot anything that isn't first slot with this, and then, yeah, hope you get insta-kill on it. And then you just use this guy to concentrate the rest of your damage. You get a resummon off your bomb bot, which has a really big armor boost ratio here. We're getting so much armor, as you can see here. And one nice thing is there are a few things in this kingdom that can end up utilizing it. One, them being bomb bot, which has a 2-to-1 ratio, pretty similar to what you effectively get from Rowan's overall boost ratio, as far as amount of total damage that you're doing. So, yeah, not bad. Pretty high armor value. Get a nice big poke. And of course, Bork just to get all the mana going. You could technically go double bomb bot as well. The only problem with that is you might have a little bit bigger trouble trying to get your mana started, as this is a Adana weapon as well, so it's assuming, you know, no Wand of Stars, no nothing like that. It's assuming both pure Adana and pure Mech. Now, if you're under pure Mech, you could switch out for a different weapon, which would leave you a little bit more room to replace out your Bork, and potentially go Wand of Stars, double Bombot into him, or something along those lines. But let's go get our yellow mana that we end up needing for this. I guess we'll take it from the top there. We did not get Surge, but we did get the Cascaded mana we needed, so I guess that works out. Unfortunately, we're frozen here, though I'm not sure that's really going to matter much, as this thing creates red and yellow. Oh, never mind, he's frozen as well. Okay, wonderful. Well, that doesn't help that. Alright, we do have to spell an extra turn. Unfortunately, I'm frozen on red. Is that worth going for? I don't think it is. He has yellow to green convert. Does that do anything? No. Oh, but it could over here. You know what? I'm just going for it. I want to get it dispelled. Because now we can bomb bot, and now it hits everything. And look what he can do. He can go resummon and finish a battle with enough damage. And we got Tina 9000, so that's one of his few good things. Even though he can summon really bad mechs, he can summon good mechs. Which means even if you don't own Tina 9000, the actual good mech from the kingdom, yeah, it can summon it. It's very rare, but it can summon it. Deals a bunch of true damage to 3 random... Just look at this damage disparity real quick. Wait, let me go put them on the same team. Look at this damage disparity. Wait, let me do it on a different team just so it doesn't hear. This was the one I couldn't figure out what to do with this guy. Wait, let me go to Adana. What's his name again? Let's go to Adana. Let's just look at the damage disparity between what a good mythic and a bad mythic looks like from this kingdom. Obviously, it's resummon to make up for it, but that is not enough. But there's definitely other ways you could be resummoning. Okay, so this thing effectively hits 3 random enemies. One of them you do get to choose, but the other 2 is completely random, and it is physical damage. But I guess he does have the benefit of being able to do up to 28 extra. So in this case, let's say he's doing, what is that, 91 in this particular situation. So 91. This thing hits 69 to 138, which averages to, what is that, 90 something? A little higher than 90 something, 100 something? Let's see, if we add 31 to that, minus 31. Yeah, it's about a 103, 104, 105, somewhere around there. But it's true damage, not physical. So this, in its best case scenario, is doing physical damage lower than Tina's average for true damage, which is basically twice as useful. On top of that, it also gets to gain armor instead of gaining a double summon, which is a little bit more useful for it because it actually utilizes that armor. For one, to not die, because it has spell block for 50% spell reduction, as well as 50% of its armor value as skull damage. But on top of that, yeah, it just doesn't have a good trait. I guess armored is a little bit okay. That's a pretty low bar, though, if we're pointing to armored as his best trait. But because this just does not stack enough later in the game. Everything around him seems skilled for like early and mid game. So if you get him as a newer player, I guess he's not bad. Like, he's definitely going to help you a lot for next Guild War. But beyond that, yeah, he's just like 10 times, 5 times weaker Tina 9000. But yeah, overall, pretty bad mythic. The only reason you're really picking him up is because you need more support for the upcoming Guild War that's coming up. Or you just want it for completionist sake, just so you don't have to go get him later. But yeah, when it comes to Adana mythics, actually, let me go bring them all up. Actually, we can see them right here. He is competing with quite a bit. Like, if you were an event key for Adana, you have things like Ironhawk, you have things like Tina 9000. Sparkinator's pretty meh, but he's honestly probably even meh-er. So you got like a 2 good roll, 2 bad roll. It's like 50-50 if you were to event key for this down the line. Obviously not right now, but if you were to down the line when it's a Adana event, you have some of the best mythics in the game, including Ironhawk, which is like the best, at least for Vault Weekend. Also, speaking of which, I did not mention it a single time yet. I think I did in the first recording, but then I redid like the first intro. But yeah, this is Vault Event Weekend. I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet, but yeah, you can end up farming everything from the first team from within the next 2 weeks. Gimlet is an event key drop table next week, not right now. King Highforge is an event key drop table next week, not right now. This guy, the new Mythic, is in drop table right now in Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests, and he'll be out of drop table at the end of Thursday all the way until Friday reset time, which is pretty much until next Guild War. And Wanda Stars, while you can't get it directly as a drop, you can get Vault Keys this weekend. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday are the Vault Event weekend, and you can then go and try to hopefully get a Wanda Stars from the Vault Keys that you end up getting from, not settings, from the current Vault Event weekend we have going on. But anyways, yeah, overall verdict, you're basically only getting this for completionist sake and or for because you have like literally no Mythic for the upcoming Dwarf restriction for Guild War in 2 weeks. And that is basically it. He is very meh. He can be used. Like, you can get wins with him. Like, this is a pretty solid team. Like, this team's win rate going to be pretty solid. It's going to win very slow, but it will win. So if you had to like cheese it with this, you would be able to get away with it. But overall, yeah, there's just not much of a use case for it. You'll use it probably a little bit in 2 weeks from now, and that is about it. Unless you're just getting it to upgrade like Adana or something similar. If you want to go get like a certain star level on your Adana, if you haven't 20 starred it, 10 starred it, 5 starred it, 30 starred it, whatever you're trying to get off of it, it can help you get to that goal. But beyond that, yeah, pretty average Mythic. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Best of luck if you're going to be trying for it yourself. And I will catch all of you guys later. Bye, everyone. And thanks for watching.